Hi everyone, this is Preetam and I hope all of you are doing well. राइट यार देखो, मैं इस वीडियो को थोड़ा सा लंबा बनाने वाला हूँ। तो मैं लास्ट ईयर मैंने एक गोल सेट किया था अपने लिए, मतलब 25 जनवरी 2025 में। एंड मैंने खुद के लिए एक गोल सेट किया था कि यार मुझे 10 लाख महीना कमाना है। सेकंड गोल सेट किया था कि मुझे 1000 बार फेल होना है। राइट, ये थोड़ा सा वियर्ड गोल है। अगर ये पॉइंट समझना है तो उसके लिए लास्ट का एक वीडियो देख लेना आप मेरे चैनल पे, वेयर मैंने बोला था कि यार आई वांट टू फेल 1000 टाइम। ठीक है, तो इस वीडियो में दो चीज़ होंगी। पहला, मैं आपको जर्नी अपना बताऊंगा कि जो जर्नी मुझे चैलेंजेस आए 10 लाख रुपए बनाने में महीने के। और सेकंड, मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करने वाला हूँ, फेलियर्स का एक्सपीरियंस। राइट, सब लोग अपने सक्सेस के एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करते हैं, बट फेलियर्स के एक्सपीरियंस भाई मतलब बहुत ही लेस लोग जो रहते हैं फेलियर्स के एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करते हैं। राइट, तो और इस एट द एंड मैं बताऊँगा कि मैंने कितने पैसे बनाए और मैंने क्या सीखा, ये मैं बताने वाला आपको। क्योंकि आप मेरा लास्ट 1.5 साल पहले का वो वीडियो देखोगे वर्सेस आज का आप एक वीडियो देख रहे हो मेरा, तो उसमें ज़मीन और आसमान का डिफरेंस रहने वाला है। तो वो डिफरेंस क्या है, वो लर्निंग्स आई है मुझे। तो वो क्या लर्निंग्स मुझे मिली, क्या मैंने चैलेंजेस फेस किए, मैंने उसको कैसे टैकल किया, वो पूरा आएगा। मतलब मैं इस वीडियो को आराम से 20 से 25 मिनट तक बनाने वाला हूँ। तो अगर आपके पास टाइम है तो इस वीडियो को देखो, नहीं है तो मत देखो। राइट, सो देखो यार, जब मैंने चैलेंज लिया था कि मुझे 1000 टाइम्स फेल होना है, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यार मैं इस कॉन्सेप्ट को डिफाइन करता हूँ कि फेल होने का मतलब क्या होता है। मतलब कौन ही चूतिया बंदा है जो बोलेगा कि यार मैं फेल होना चाहता हूँ। राइट, मतलब फेल होना किसको पसंद है? किसको भी नहीं, किसी को भी फेल होना नहीं पसंद है। राइट, सभी लोग आज के टाइम पे एवरीवन वांट्स टू बी सक्सेसफुल। राइट, दे वांट सक्सेस एंड मी एज वेल, आई वांट सक्सेस। राइट, बट इस चीज़ को समझो कि यार सभी लोग चाहते हैं, मतलब आज कौन बंदा सक्सेस नहीं चाहता, मुझे आप बताओ। जस्ट थिंक अबाउट फॉर मोमेंट, कौन बंदा सक्सेसफुल नहीं बनना चाहता? सभी लोग सक्सेसफुल बनना चाहते हैं। राइट, बट क्या सब लोग बन पाते हैं? नहीं बन पाते। राइट, तो मुझे क्या लगता है कि यार इट्स वेरी इजी टू फेल। मतलब अगर मैं सक्सेस के पीछे भागूँ तो शायद मुझे सक्सेस मिलेगा ही नहीं। बट मुझे लगता है कि यार फेलियर तो मुझे मिल ही जाएगा। और फेलियर का मतलब क्या होता है? मैं फेलियर का मतलब ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि भाई मैं लिटरली फेल हो रहा हूँ। मैं फेलियर को ऐसे बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं कोई नया चीज़ है उसमें मैं इम्प्रूव करना चाहता हूँ, उसमें फेल हो जा रहा हूँ। मतलब एक्सपेरिमेंट करना। राइट, दूसरे वर्ड में बोलूँ कि जैसे थॉमस अल्वा एडिशन, जब वो बल्ब बना रहे थे तो वो 10,000 बार फेल हुए। लोग उनको बोले 10,000 फेल, 10,000 बार बंदा ये फेल हुआ। बट थॉमस अल्वा एडिशन का वो थॉट प्रोसेस नहीं था। थॉमस अल्वा एडिशन का थॉट प्रोसेस था कि मैं 10,000 बार एक्सपेरिमेंट किया और 10,001 जो एक्सपेरिमेंट था मेरा वर्कआउट हो गया, और 10,000 के जो 10,000 मैंने एक्सपेरिमेंट के वर्कआउट नहीं हुए। सो फॉर मी दैट वॉज नॉट फेलियर, दैट वॉज एक्सपेरिमेंट कि क्या वर्क करता है क्या नहीं करता। सिंपल एज दैट। तो फेलियर्स, मैं बोल रहा हूँ मुझे 1000 टाइम्स फेल होना है, तो ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि मुझे फेल होना है। मैं बोल रहा हूँ मुझे 1000 टाइम एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है कि क्या वर्क करता है और क्या नहीं करता। इससे मुझे पता चल जाएगा कि क्या स्ट्रेटजी वर्क करती है, उसमें मुझे डबल डाउन करना है। राइट, दैट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ फेलियर। मतलब हम लोग डरते हैं, मतलब मुझे कोई काम करना है तो हम लोग डरते हैं टू ट्राई न्यू थिंग्स, गोइंग आउट ऑफ कंफर्ट जोन। राइट, या फिर बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है तो कोई बड़ा रिस्क ले लिया तो लग जाएगी। तो जब पता है कि फेल ही होना है, पता है मुझे कि यार मैं काम जो स्टार्ट करूंगा 90% चांस वो फेल हो जाएगा। एक मैं आज बिजनेस स्टार्ट करूंगा 90% चांस से फेल होगा। अगर आप अच्छे से प्लान करते हो, सब कुछ करते हो, उसके बाद भी चांस है कि 90% ऑफ बिजनेस फेल हो जाएगा। राइट, दैट इज अ रियलिटी। तो क्वेश्चन ये है, जब पता ही ये फेलियर होने वाला है तो मैं अपने फेलियर को क्यों ना प्लान करूं? पॉइंट ना भाई, मुझे पता ही है कि यार मैं बिजनेस करूंगा तो उसमें फेल तो होने ही वाला हूं, 90% चांस मैं फेल होने वाला हूं। तो मैं एक बिजनेस ट्राई करूंगा तो उसमें 90% चांस है फेल होने का। तो क्या मैं कुछ ऐसा कर सकता हूं कि जहां पे मैं अपनी ये जो रेशियो है 10% सक्सेस को, उसको मैं इंप्रूव करके 100% लेके जाऊं? तो उसका रेशियो सिंपल है, एक बिजनेस करूंगा तो उसमें 90% चांस फेल है, तो मैं इससे अच्छा मैं 10 बिजनेस करूं। 10 बिजनेस में यार एक बिजनेस चलेगा। अगर 10% हर एक इंडिविजुअल बिजनेस का मैं 10% भी सक्सेस रेशियो ले लूं, तो 10 बिजनेस में ट्राई करता हूं, तो यार एक बिजनेस चलेगा। मैं एक ट्राई करूंगा तो शायद वो फेल हो जाए, मतलब शायद नहीं, शायद सक्सेसफुल हो जाए। बट अगर मैं 10 ट्राई करता हूं, 10 में से एक तो चलेगा। राइट, दैट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ फेलियर। फेलियर का पॉइंट ये नहीं है कि मुझे फेल होना है, फेलियर का पॉइंट है कि मुझे एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है, कौन सा बिजनेस काम करता है, कौन सा नहीं करता। और जो काम करता है उसका क्या पोटेंशियल है। आज मैं एक बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ, उसका पोटेंशियल मान लो मैक्स टू मैक्स 1 लाख रुपए महीना है, तो क्या मैं एम आई ओके टू स्टक ऑन 1 लाख? दैट्स अ डिफरेंट कॉन्वर्सेशन, बट टू पॉइंट टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, राइट। तो फेलियर होना का कॉन्सेप्ट मैं आपको डिफाइन कर दिया हूं। अब बात करते हैं कि मेरी जर्नी क्या रही है। मतलब देखो यार, मैं आज जिस सिचुएशन में हूं, जो जगह पे हूं, मैंने ऑनेस्टली बताऊंगा, मैंने 1.5 साल पहले इमेजिन नहीं किया था कि मैं इस सिचुएशन में या इस प्लेस में होऊंगा। राइट, मेरी इमेजिनेशन अलग थी, बट मुझे डायरेक्शन पता था कि यार ये सिनेरियो है और इस तीनों में से एक डायरेक्शन, तो ये मेरा डायरेक्शन है। वर्स्ट केस, बेस्ट केस, एवरेज केस। राइट, तो मैं भी अपने आप को, मतलब आपको मैं देखो, फर्स्ट जब मैंने चैलेंज लिया कि मुझे 1,500 बार मतलब 1,000 बार फेल होना है और 10 लाख महीने के कमाने हैं, तो उस समय मैं सिर्फ 30,000 महीने कमा रहा था। राइट, और अभी करेंटली मैं दुबई में बैठा हूँ, दुबई रियल एस्टेट मार्केट में मैं काम करता हूँ, और मैं कुछ नहीं मैं पेपर पे पैसे बना लिया हूँ भाई। मतलब मैंने पेपर मनी, जो मैंने अमाउंट सोचा था उसका मान लो 10 लाख मेहनत नहीं बनाया हूँ मैं, बट हाँ पेपर पे मैंने अच्छा खासा अमाउंट बना लिया है। मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में भी नहीं आया है, बट पेपर पे मैंने अमाउंट बना लिया है। तो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, अथॉरिटी से बात कर रहा हूँ कि मैंने किया है। राइट, मैंने जो बोला था मैंने किया है। मतलब उतना अमाउंट नहीं आया कि 10 लाख महीना में आ रहा है, बट 3-4-5 तो आ रहा है महीने का। 3-4-5 महीने का बुरा नहीं होता है। राइट, तो पॉइंट यार मैं कैसे पहुंचा। तो यार देखो, मैं स्टार्ट करता हूँ वीडियो, मेन मुद्दे पे आता हूँ। 1.5 साल पहले जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया ये फेलियर का थॉट प्रोसेस, तो मेरा ये था कि यार मुझे फेल होना है, तो सबसे ज़्यादा मैं फेल हो सकता हूँ एआई इंडस्ट्री में, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे वो बूम कर रही थी, उस टाइम पे वो हाइप में थे। तो आई थिंक वो मेरे लिए एक टॉप ऑफ द माइंड जो थी वो कि मैं इसमें फेल हो सकता हूँ और इसमें एक अच्छा बिजनेस ट्राई कर सकता हूँ, इसमें बना सकता हूँ। तो मैंने टेक का एक अच्छा खासा प्लेटफॉर्म मैंने क्रिएट किया, एंड बट इवेंचुअली वो मुझे बंद करना पड़ा, मतलब वो स्टार्टअप, क्योंकि वो मैंने उस आइडिया को मैं वैलिडेट ही नहीं कर पाया। राइट, तो वो तो एक आइडिएशन स्टेज पे था। मैंने MVP क्रिएट किया, देन मैंने फाउंडर्स में ढूंढने स्टार्ट कर दिया था अपने से, बट मेरे पास एज सच मेरा कोई बैकग्राउंड नहीं है कि पहले नहीं था। कि मुझे टेक फाउंडर्स मुझे जानते हैं, मुझे आईआईटी के लोग जानते हैं, क्योंकि जो बिजनेस में ट्राई करता था दैट वाज फंडामेंटली अ बिजनेस विच कुड डू वेरी लाइक which can go very like high scalable, but it needed like more people who can work on the fundamental part. The core team जो होती है ना, वो अगर strong नहीं है तो आप कितना ही अच्छा आइडिया है, you cannot survive no matter आपके पास कितना ही पैसे है. At then what matters is that how strong people are. तो वो मेरे पास नहीं थे उस समय. मैंने like 4-5-6 मतलब लोगों से अच्छे पोजीशन पे थे, उनसे बात की तो कुछ था कि कुछ लोगों का थॉट प्रोसेस था कि यार मुझे मतलब ये मैं ट्राई कर सकता हूँ बट अभी नहीं, मैं जॉब के साथ मैं ट्राई करूँगा. या फिर कुछ लोगों का कुछ अलग ही आइडिया था कि मुझे ये करना है, राइट. तो मैंने बोला यार चलो ठीक है, आइडियाज आर स्क्रैप्स, लेट मी स्क्रैप माई आइडिया, लेट्स वर्क वॉट यू आर एक्साइटेड अबाउट एंड लेट मी फिगर आउट कैन वी वर्क एटलीस्ट टुगेदर और नॉट. सो दैट वॉज माई बिगेस्ट चैलेंज, फर्स्ट चैलेंज. तो मैंने 2-3 लोग के साथ एक्सपेरिमेंट किया काम करके, एंड इवेंचुअली इट टर्न आउट दैट नहीं, दैट वी बोथ वर नॉट अलाइंड, राइट. हम लोग का वर्किंग स्टाइल वॉज नॉट मैचिंग, सो वी वर नॉट द फाउंडर, लाइक वी कुड बी नॉट द को फाउंडर्स फॉर ईच अदर, बिकॉज आइडियाज तो आते जा रहेंगे, प्रोडक्ट्स आते जा रहेंगे, बट द पॉइंट इज दैट आर वी को फाउंडर्स और नॉट, कैन वी वर्क ऑन अ प्रोडक्ट टुगेदर और नॉट, राइट, सॉल्व अ प्रॉब्लम और नॉट. तो इवेंचुअली दैट डिड नॉट वर्क आउट एंड फिर मैंने इंडिविजुअली कुछ काम करना स्टार्ट किया, बट इट नॉट, मैंने मेरा एग्जीक्यूशन में देयर वाज लैक इन टर्म्स ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन, राइट. देन आफ्टर दैट लाइक वन ऑफ माई लाइक प्रीवियस कलीग वेयर लाइक आई हैड वर्क like before that I was working into sales organization. So one of my colleague reached out to me and he was actually planning to go to Dubai and he wanted to like work into Dubai real estate market. So I thought process, okay, let's I mean yeah, it's a I mean yeah, we can work. I mean my thought process was like oh, in Dubai. So I was like excited, oh wow, I could work in Dubai as well in a sales industry. And second thought was that I had here I'll get to learn about a lot and I'll set for myself a minimum benchmark. Okay, because when you work in a different country, so you set a benchmark. Okay, this is going to be a minimum salary. This is going to be minimum earning. You set a benchmark, right? Basically. So then I like came to Dubai and I started working into Dubai real estate market. And honestly, the experience here was, I mean, it was very big challenge for me because coming from background where I don't have money, pocket money, right, and taking loan and then coming back to different country where not having a strong skills as well. So like the highest struggle you can think of that you will have financially, no support from anyone, right, no skill set, no knowledge, new country, and I was entering first time to live in a country where I don't know cooking. Just imagine what kind of challenge I would have been faced. I mean literally I don't know cooking, right. So it was a horrible challenge, I can say. Moving out to a different country and making life there where nothing is there with you. But I followed the thought process that the bigger the challenge, the bigger the success. I followed this thought process and that has led to me very good decisions eventually after some months, some years in my life, right. So I came and in 3 months company fired me because I did not have any sales, and the company eventually fired me and I had to eventually go back to India then, right. And then again, like, I'm not saying this to anyone, but because of the company fired me and I did not had any survival money, and then I had to go back to India because the cost of living in Dubai is very high, right. If you're living in India, so I mean you have your own house, you don't need to pay rentals, right, too much. the groceries is very cheap and the travel cost is also very cheap. But in Dubai, the cost of life is very high. And I am not someone whose family from rich background, and I mean, let's forget about rich, not even middle class. We come into very lower, less lower middle class, so we come into the category of very very lower, right? So where my mom's salary is 15,000 a month. Just think about for a moment, 15,000 a month, and I was not making any money at the time. So I moved to Dubai with taking some loans. Second time as well, I took a lakh rupees loan and moved. And this time, I had prepared myself at least 1 month gap that I got. I prepared myself in terms of not extraordinarily, but I prepared myself in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge. That 1 month period got me like a level of understanding that I think that I experimented a lot about different stuffs, and I did something in that 1 month which Dubai has not ever seen. Like Dubai real estate has not ever seen that what I have did. Obviously, I cannot describe that over here, but that was something crazy I did. And then I came back to Dubai again with, like, again the struggles are again, it's not like I'm in the success phase, I'm still in the struggle phase. So I came back to Dubai, and yeah, this time with hope that I will not give up. I mean, last time even I did not give up, but because of some like visa constraints, I had to go back to India. So then I came back to again Dubai, and I started working in our firm. And I, like, the challenges that I faced, like every month I was doing like 3 to 4 transaction. Like how it works in Dubai real estate, if I share with you that when you work into basically real estate, not just in Dubai real estate, so customer pays the token amount or EOI, which we call it. Like it's kind of they do the payment, and but like, so in those last three in the initial like 5 months, my customer was making the payment, they were paying the token amount, but because of some reasons which was out of my control at that moment, let's say if you are working, let's say in Dubai real estate, you can relate with me, they did not get the unit, or the customer had asked for the refund for the money. So even though in that 6 months I lost the business of more than 50 to 70 million, I lost that business, right? And again I'm in the struggling phase, but struggling in the sense from the world's perspective. From my perspective, I am into best zone I can have ever, because the kind of improvements I'm doing on myself, the kind of practices am I doing, the kind of learnings that I'm doing every day, the kind of skill practices am I improving, I was into flow zone, right? And I was improving like anything in that 6 months. And eventually I sold one project worth, like, in AED if I talk about, so 7 million deal in INR, close to 13 to 40 crores, or more than, like, when 15 crores. That is the amount, my first deal I closed, and it was like, it was like, yeah, I did it. Not, I think it was not like I did it. For me, it was more of like, yeah, I knew it, that this is gonna happen. Because once you follow the process, you know that the outcome gonna come at any cost. So I knew that. And then second month, after that second month, I closed another a small deal of 1.52 million, and yeah, so first deal, second deal, after 6 months, like I closed. So that, you know, that led to me the amount that I wanted to have. Basically, I want to make 10 lakhs a month. So on paper, I had made that money, right? And the businesses that I have lost, more than, like, in last 1 year, if I count, if not less than, but 100 million business or the transaction which they happened but did not completed, that I have lost, right? So that actually got me into, you know, like this, all the processes got me into a person to build, like, to, you know, to become a kind of person who's inevitable to defeat. Because, you know, walking in Dubai real estate with having almost no money and being a 21-year-old guy where the world does not take you seriously, right? They're like, you're just 21 years, so don't take this guy seriously. You're not carrying any experience, you're not carrying any skills. So you can imagine the kind of toughness that you need. I'm not bragging about this myself, but I'm just sharing you my experience with you. That, and I believe one thing, strongly I believe one thing: the bigger the challenge is yours, the bigger the success is yours. The bigger the challenge is yours, the bigger the success is yours. So this is a story of last 6 months, and it was not like everything was going good. The challenges, a different kind of set of challenges you cannot imagine. In the wildest of dream, I was having that challenge, right? So that's how I walked. And then, you know, then I went into comfort zone. Basically, I want to say that, like, after making some deals, I went into comfort zone where I'm improving, but it's the improvement is like a comfortable improvement, not where I have to push the limits, where I'm not taking the risk, when I'm not consciously challenging myself. So from last 3 to 4 months, I was like in very comfort zone, and when I was like improving even more and more, right, with taking different set of challenges and improving into that. And yeah, so the biggest learning, see, it's not like everything has been good, everything has been went good. The point that I want to make is that the amount that I set for myself, 10 lakh a month. So on paper, I have made like 3 to 4 lakh months. Obviously, it takes some time to comes to your bank account, but I left that company where I have on paper even like I was making 3 to 4 lakh a month on paper, right? So I left that company, honestly, and I joined another venture, and yeah, so that is the story of my real estate journey. And now the topic, the main topics. What are the mistakes that I did that did not lead to having this 10 lakh month, right? So the biggest mistake that I did, number one, you know, like if I can count on this, the number one biggest mistake that I did in last 1.5 years is, like, you know, skill wise, learning very less. I have to be even more and more focused to improve my skills, right? Learning very less. Second biggest mistake that I did is not failing fast, not failing forward, not failing planned, not failing publicly, not failing extremely at a high pace. That is the biggest mistake that I did. Like, even though I was failing, I managed to myself, you know, experiment a lot of stuff. And that's why I'm saying the things which I have done in last 1 years in Dubai real estate, that I know that the investors or the agents, mainly the agents, were sitting from last 10 to 15 years they would also they haven't been done also what I have done. The kind of experience, the kind of knowledge that I have got is completely different, completely insane because of this approach, failing fast, failing forward. Right. So I love this approach. And now, as I mentioned, second biggest mistake, that not failing publicly. Now I will fail publicly, bro. I don't care what people think. I'll fail publicly. Third biggest mistake is not utilizing time. Counting, making every day impactful. Every day that you're working should be impactful. That is advice I'm giving to myself, not to you, but to myself. Third biggest mistake is that critical thinking. I honestly, this is the part that I want to work even more and more. Right. So I think critical thinking is something where I want to work like anything or improve my critical thinking, my thinking skills. Basically, your results are the outcome of your thinking and habits. So if I'm getting a result where I haven't made 10 lakh a month, I made on paper 3 to 4 lakh a month. On bank account, obviously I made an expense which I can survive in Dubai. That's it. I did not build a bank account which will lead to 10 lakhs a month, will lead to 12 months, 1.2. I did not build any bank balance. I'll be very honest with you all. But with this approach of failing fast, failing forward, the kind of person that I have become is, I think, in next 5 years, even if I was following the similar pattern which I was following in India, I would not become it, right? The kind of person that I have become, like, it's like from a boy, I have become a man. It's like that. So I encourage you all to as well fail fast, fail forward. I know this video is getting very complex for all of you all, but I just want to be very honest. I haven't prepared anything. I'm just sharing you whatever is coming, whatever I am feeling right now, right? So another mistake that I have done is like not setting a benchmarks for myself, not compromising on something below than that. As a 10 lakhs months, sometimes where I had actually compromised in my thinking that okay, even it's fine if I do not make 10 lakhs a month. So that thinking should not come. That is not, no means no, that I won't be compromised below than that, right? So that is something. Another mistakes that I have did is not understanding truth of everything, every part of doing. I'm the business I'm doing. Like there are a lot of illusions in life, a lot of of stuffs which are not true. So fundamentally knowing the truth is what I think drives the outcome, because once you know the truth, so you understand the game and then you can drive the outcome as well. Now this has been the biggest mistakes which I have done, biggest learnings, which is things which I did right and which I'm proud on myself, is that I am fucking proud on myself on one parameter that I never, like again it's on 10 out of I can say 5 or 6, but even 10 out of 5 or 6 is not less for a person like me, that I take challenges, I take risks, and if you want to take that leap where your life changes, I think I'm giving this advice to myself, for my future self, or to past self as well. If you want to take one advice, or that advice that I will give myself even to my more younger self, to 20-year-old, is that fail even more fast, take risk, right? Take risk, fail even more fast, fail even more forward, and take as biggest as challenge you can. Like the bigger the challenge, the bigger the success. Take the biggest of biggest challenge that you can take. This is the best right thing I did. I did 10 out of 5 if I have to judge myself, but if I can improve something more, so I'll make sure it is 10 out of 10 in terms of like improving, taking challenges. Now this was one arena. Second thing which I did right, which I am you can say proud on myself, is following the system. Actually, I had thought process that system sucks, right? But I was actually against system, right? But now I believe in the systems. Now I believe in the process, because process and system what drives the outcome, right? If you follow the right system and right process. And the biggest, again I'm coming to this, to the biggest mistake that I think will be coming, dropping. I did not drop my ego after some time, right? I had like listen to people who are relevant to industry and learn, ask why they're seeing it the way they're doing, understand it, listening them, dropping your ego that you are always a beginner. I'm a beginner. Start starting from I don't know anything. I am a beginner. If I am not having this thought process, it's gonna suck like anything. You're not gonna improve it because you're gonna have it ego. That's the mistake I did. So I'm saying again, I'm not saying I am beginner, because I mean just think about that there are so many big people doing so many big things, and if I just satisfied into like small things and I'm thinking like I know things, it's actually it's very high ego, you can say. I don't know anything. Having this thought process actually helped me to learn. So if I can improve one thing, or the biggest mistake that thing is dropping the ego and seeing that no, I don't know anything, and be okay to look foolish. That is the biggest, learning, or whatever you can call it. And now let's